It's showtime, man. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you are having an amazing day. It's Pratik Tucker, founder at Webzoli and CE and Testlify. I'm based out of Tel Aviv, Israel. I would love to know where you guys are joining from. Please put down in the chat and let's say hello to each other. I have a special guest with me today. Let me introduce you. She's a CEO and founder at KGS Advisors and Women Innovator, and a successful coach by passion for MSMEs. Coincidentally, we met at an event. Now, what was that event? Times 40 under 40 leaders. So we met in Delhi in July or June, Trupti.
I
It
think it's
was
July. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Hi.
Trupti is an outstanding leader in this space. Trupti, warm welcome. Really happy to share screen with you. You have been really um, doing something innovative, creative, and something which means a lot, especially for your venture in Women Innovator. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure, Pratik, to be with you on this platform
Thank you
today.
thank you, Trupti. So, guys, today Trupti is joining us from India, Delhi, right, Trupti?
That's right. That's right.
And she has been very much active on LinkedIn, and I thought doing this session will add a lot of value to the audience we both share, and especially LinkedIn has been platform for finding a new job, finding a great new team member. I would say, I found all of my team members that I work with today from LinkedIn, almost 99%. All of my business clients are from LinkedIn. So this is a platform to network, to find jobs, to get leads, to get sales, do whatever you want in your professional career. This is the reason we are doing this session, to help you what we have learned in last 5 years. So Trupti, tell me something before we dig more into LinkedIn. I would love to learn more about you. Maybe something that we don't know, and something that you would like to share with the audience about your new venture.
Sure. Thank you so much, Pratik. It's such a pleasure to be here with all of you. I think I would love to speak about my social initiative, but very quickly on what I'm doing as a chartered accountant after completing my CA. I worked with PricewaterhouseCoopers, Grant Thornton, World Bank, and joined my own organization, which is a 50 years old chartered accountancy firm, KGS, and we work on financial advisory, act as a virtual CFO, do valuation, due diligence, insolvency, and bankruptcy. That's professional journey, and I think I was not. I still I feel that I have a lot of energy to do more and contribute to the community, and so I initiated a concept called Women Innovator, which is a global incubator for women. And what we do here is we try to go to tier two, tier three cities, and we try to listen. And the new leadership concept says that you and I, if we're accomplished, we talk less. It has to be people who need help get the chance to speak on platforms now. So we created a concept called We Pitch, where our women, whether they are entrepreneurs, social activists, leaders, they come and speak about their initiative in 1 minute, about the work in 1 minute, and what is the challenge they're facing. And that's when our jury and our leaders, they listen to these pitches, and then the top six are actually awarded. Our we run like annual or annual awards. We've already completed 100 women faces, then we did 1,000. Took us 2 years. Now we are on a 10,000 mission for next 5 years. So and then after that, we also, our leaders are supposed to, when they select these women entrepreneurs or social activists, we go for incubation and acceleration program, which is a 10 to 14 weeks, where we have partners like Amazon, and Vadvani Foundation, Ernst and Young, to support,
Wow.
create content, and help these women go to the next level. So that's what
Uh,
we try to do at Woman Innovator, Pratik.
Incredible, outstanding, and we want more people like you having such a vision, uh, and just sharing, like, we recently met on Zoom after, like, first time we met, and we decided that we will partner in some way, that I will support Women Innovator best in my capacity. So yes, sharing the word out, it's something that everyone should contribute in some way, and this is your chance. If you are listening to this, maybe just hit that share button. It will really help somebody who is needing that kind of community to grow. And Women Innovator is the platform for all of the women entrepreneurs who are, like, really changing the way India works, I would say. So Shruti, why there's something that is driving you, right? As an entrepreneur, what is that passion? Like, why you decided to have this social cause in the first place?
I think the first, I would just quickly share what happened. I come from Sri Ram College. I graduated from Sri Ram College of Commerce. And during one of my alumni, I visited my college, and I got very excited after meeting the members, alumni from different years. And I decided to, host like 100 women of SRCC. And to my
Mm-hmm.
surprise, Pratik, when I created a WhatsApp group, got the first SRCC into the till date SRCCs on that group, Women SRCC, and there were only 20 people who participated in that award.
Mm-hmm.
And that was an eye opener for me, that although the best although SRCC is the best college for commerce, right, across
Mm-hmm.
India,
Yeah.
and still we couldn't create those leaders who could be part of our initiative. So that's when I decided to go forward and put this initiative into place. So I instead of 100 women faces of SRCC, I made it 100 women faces of Asia. And that's why when we heard 100 women in like 100 minutes, and the renowned names like Sonam Wangchuk sir from three, who's, you all know about him now.
Mm-hmm.
His story was was in Three Idiots, and Naina Lal Kidwai ma'am, accomplished people were sitting across, like opposite, and listening to these people. And that's where we realize the power of bringing people who need help on stage than people who are accomplished. And we continued this journey in different cities. In last 2 years, we completed almost 100 pitching competition, heard more than 1,000 pitches and they were heard by more than 600 jury members from across the world. And
Wow.
that's where we realize that I think this is what I would say, it gives me happiness, and I sleep well because I'm doing this. And I
Wow.
keep getting motivated to carry on this initiative.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I'm sure it will inspire many who are listening to this. So, people who are listening, if you have any questions for Trupti or me, put down in the comment. It will be, like, nice that we can discuss this question so that everyone can learn from this discussion. Moving on, I would love to discuss more about LinkedIn. That's why we are here. We are here to unlock the secrets of LinkedIn, and this makes me very excited because this is the topic that I can speak about in like 3
Right.
a.m. in the night.
Yeah.
I'm very much passionate about LinkedIn, and this has given me basically everything. Okay, to the brand name I have today, to the community I have built, to the amount of, like, a bank account balance I have today is because of LinkedIn. That's what I would say. So think about, like, how LinkedIn can impact your life. we will discuss few stages of LinkedIn here. Okay, so first is you being like into a online event where it's 24/7 running live. So you're going to an event, you have to be presentable. Okay, so firstly you go in a professional attire, or you make yourself look professional so that you are approachable, people can actually come to you. So it's like kind of your online reputation. Okay, so that's kind of LinkedIn in a way. So that's your LinkedIn profile. So Trupti, uh, please help us with some of the tips that you can give to the audience on how they can master their LinkedIn profile, because today LinkedIn is not just like your resume, it's like your online reputation. Okay, people do judge book by its cover. Okay, especially in the digital age. So we need to make sure that your profile looks outstanding so that you can grab that attention. So Trupsi, over to you.
Thank you, Pratik. I think I would first add on what you were saying. So, LinkedIn, as you see, if I'm going for a meeting, I'm going to meet whether on personal front or on business front. The first thing I do is a Google search, of course,
Yeah.
but definitely LinkedIn comes on the top, because when you do and you want to read about someone, I go in depth to understand that person, because I may just get 5 minutes or 15 minutes with that person, or maybe 3 minutes, and he may ask me that he's busy and he won't have time to talk. So I
Mm-hmm.
would love to do three things before I meet somebody, whether it could be personal or professional. I'm repeating personal as well, because LinkedIn gives you the right, you know, right understanding of whom you're meeting. Because any other platform, you can just write anything you want, but LinkedIn is something you will not, you have to write what is, because you cannot fake it at any
Yeah.
cost. So there are two things. Definitely, I prepare myself. So I, see that okay, the kind of people I'm. So if I'm meeting Pratik and I don't know him, I will see his and my mutual connects, which gives a lot of comfort to me. Or somebody approaching me, I would like to see, are they connected to me through people who are someone I can trust before spending my time with them. And the second thing which matters a lot is, which college they went to. Maybe I know somebody from that college to, give names when I'm meeting Pratik. Okay, do you know this person? But I would be able to throw those names only if I have got into details of like which college, which place you're born in, which school you went to, and I will and I would like to see what are the companies they worked with. Would I know somebody in that company whom I can throw names while talking to you? And then I'll also see what is that you're writing. Are
Yeah.
you writing about women empowerment? Are you writing about, gender diversity or upscaling? Or are you writing about accounting policy? What is that your interest is? Because you will write on a social media what, because writing is difficult. So you will write what you really are thinking about. And I really want to talk about in those 2 minutes what you want to listen to, so that you give me another 1 hour. So I think this works very well if you plan on like see all these three things. It's really helpful to crack those 2 minutes to 2 hour conversation with someone
Uh,
who's important.
Perfectly said. This one thing that I would like to more emphasize from your specific sentence that you said, people want to come to your profile to see whether you can be trusted or not, right? Now, anything we do in like business specifically, if you don't trust that brand, probably you won't buy. So at the end of the day, let me ask you this question, okay? Whoever is listening here, do you buy anything online without checking reviews? The answer is no, right? So you probably go 99.99% of the time and check for that reviews about the product you buy, which doesn't matter if it's a SaaS software product or it's like a physical product. So it's kind of like you are the product, okay? You are on LinkedIn platform, and people are going to buy you. So what story you're telling, what way you're telling, it's important. Now, how do you build that trust is something that can come next. So I'll tell you something. When I was on my LinkedIn journey, how you can be trusted. There are a few points that you can do. Maybe I'll first ask Trupti, and then maybe I'll share some of my thoughts on how to build trust, so that we can use both of our ideas, so that it can help us help audience. By the way, if you have any other questions related to what we are discussing, put down in the chat. We'll take in the conversation. We won't wait until the end, so it's more on specific topic that we are discussing. So Trupti, how do someone build trust, whether it may be applying for a job, whether for networking or finding that sales lead or whatever?
So I really feel LinkedIn, being on LinkedIn and be able to put across. So LinkedIn, once you have a LinkedIn, you don't have to create a CV. I mean, you can just export your CV. That's the beauty of LinkedIn. And because I think the trust factor can be created by two very important tools of LinkedIn. One is recommendation, which you give and which you take. I think that's something I always go and check, how many recommendations got. That is one
Did you
aspect.
did you check mine?
No.
I checked yours actually. I checked your
I,
profile when we met first time,
yes.
and
I
your profile looks amazing, Trupti. The reason why I was able to immediately connect with you, because you know one important aspect about building trust. Okay, some of the PRs you do, or some of the dignitaries, or people that you met, you add that pictures in your featured. What's something that you want to share here that will help audience? Share your secrets.
Okay. I think yeah, that's definitely, I make a point, and specifically, what happens, and I think that's how things work, is the people of like you're meeting, the ministers, or the awards which you're getting, they should be on your the picture should be on your profile. So if I have got an award from UN Woman, I would put it as one of the featured awards. So I got 40 under 40 like you, Pratik, this year, Economics Times, Inspiring Women Award. So these are trusted brands. They would
Yeah.
not go and give awards to anyone or something. Like if you are in those, and then I think I would also always add about my community work which I do. And
Yeah.
when you do community work, and there is a lot of give and take which happen, and there is no commercial involved. So
Yeah.
that if you are doing community work, a lot of audience, a lot of renowned people, they come and work with you, and those are the things which matter. So like working with, being on the board of like organization and ministry, these are the things I would always like to put it across, because that, if I and you are meeting and you're going through my profile for 20 seconds, that's I think that's how much time I spend on one profile. So when you do that, if you see photograph with Piyush Goyal, or you who's the Minister of Commerce, or you see with President of India, you would
Mm-hmm.
know that this profile either is completely fake
Mm-hmm.
or is not at all fake.
Mm-hmm.
Is it's the clear distinction. So
But you've been to TEDx a few times.
yeah,
You cannot fake these things, right? And
yeah,
it's like
exactly.
something, it immediately, if you go to some profile, it automatically that has that oh yes, she is trustworthy. And I see that you have the title, okay, empower billion women times 40 under 40, ET inspiring women leader, TEDx speaker. You're not talking about what you're gonna do. People say I'm doing this and that. Only thing that people land on your profile, they want to know whether you can be trusted or not. This is key important things. Your achievements should be visible first thing, period.
Yeah,
Okay, and as soon as you do that, automatically, let me explain more in detail. You go to any website, okay, you will see featured in Forbes, Times, and blah blah blah. Or you see we worked with big brands like Amazon, Coca-Cola, or this is done just to build your trust. Similarly, as I mentioned, you are a product, and you need to build that trust. Okay, now you've been to many sessions on LinkedIn, and they've talked about like having an amazing picture, having an amazing subject line, write like SEO about us. It matters, okay, it matters, but it more what matters is like what you're doing, what you are recognized for, your PR activities. This is something that really matters. uh, so maybe that takes me to the next point, Truti. And how so like you build a business empire for like over a decade, and your family business is over 50 years. So how do you like connect with people on LinkedIn specifically, and how to generate those leads for actual sales? Maybe you can shed some light here.
Surely, I think I would love to, Prateek, but I'll just add one quick, thing, that there is one very important thing about LinkedIn, which people don't understand. So I know there is number of followers that defines a lot about a person. That okay, I have these many, you have, so that's perfectly fine. But I would like you to understand, whoever is listening, that you what is important is the quality of connections you have, not the count.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have 25 connection and there are CXOs and CEOs of companies, that's more powerful than 50 contacts on your LinkedIn if you are talking about a service industry.
Yep.
um, so for you, those 25 strong profiles are much stronger. So when you see people, don't I know social media has become about followers, but specifically in LinkedIn, I feel it's not about how many followers, it's about what kind of people are writing your recommendation, what kind of people are following you, what kind, you know. So if that, I think it's very, very important, very relevant to
So
understand.
let me ask people here, like to comment whether LinkedIn should remove the follower count or not. It's very debatable and questionable thing. So I would love to hear what are your thoughts. But again, what Trupti mentioned is like bang on. It's very important point that you need to understand. Although I have so many followers, but I don't know each one of them. What really matters to me is how many people in my network that I know or have met. Okay, it's important to me. So even though like because people follow me because they get inspired by what I do, or they want to work with me in some way, they want to collaborate with me in some way. But my story is slightly different. If you are like starting out, you need to focus on the quality of network that you build around you. Okay, and if let's say 50 people know you perfectly well, they are much more valuable than 50,000 followers, and this will be the initial one who will give you actual business or a job or anything that you want to do in your career.
So true.
So really, really great point, Trupti. So let's talk about how to like unlock the secrets of sales, or maybe even job.
Yeah, sure. I would love to share with you that, like you said in the starting, Pratik, that one of the, you've hired so many people on LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is one thing which connect me directly to the people who are trying to work with me.
Yep.
Sometimes your HR department, we have 300 employees today, and it's difficult to get into like interviews and all in all processes. But you know what happens when people reach out to you and they see a post on my LinkedIn and they reach out, I go through their LinkedIn. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
my HR may not feel that that's the person we should interview, but because I have gone through their LinkedIn and they have been persistently following up with me on LinkedIn, I feel like, no, give them one chance. She and he is following up with me means she really is interested in the project, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
not always about the profile. The space, specifically Womanovator, the social initiative which I'm doing, it's more about the passion. Do you have a passion to work for an organization like this? You
Mm-hmm.
can always earn in a lot of places, but here you just don't. It won't matter how much money you're getting. You have to be passionate to be working with Womanovator. So I think that's the opportunity of people who are applying for jobs, because if you're connected and if you're writing to the main person, and they're receiving, you sometimes go through the profile who was applied. You want to see the youngsters, what they're doing, how they're approaching, what is their way of communicating with us, and how prepared they are. So
Yep.
that's one very important factor. I think LinkedIn, and I came to know one of the recent hire I have, Nishta. She's part of this seminar. She's there, I think. She told me that she was going through my post for the last 5 years, and she wanted to join me. So see, then you
Such
know
a
that.
relatable story, because
Yeah.
it happened to me as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
amazing.
so then you know the person who is with you is someone who knows you and is been following you. He or she will understand what you're creating, and
Yeah.
specifically in innovation space, it's difficult to make people understand what you're creating or
Yep.
creating. So I think that's on the feedback on the people who are applying for job and looking for change or exploring. And the second part is, if you're looking for partnership, I think I have, like you said, you can talk about LinkedIn in your sleep. You can, I think you and I have spent a lot of time on LinkedIn. Like I used to just, I remember getting a message from LinkedIn that, are you a robot? And I'm sure Pratik, you must have got it too.
Many
Because
times. Once I was blocked, uh, because not of my action. I was posting regularly, right? In my initial days, uh, and it was around 4 or 5 months after. Like there were no posts going viral, okay, but one post went viral with 5 million views, and I got so many messages that they want to apply for a job in my company, they want to partner with me, and they were like at least 350 messages in that specific day. So I got a message that your account is temporarily blocked because we found some suspicious activity. I was like, wow. Uh, so yeah, it happened to me. But the point here, Tripti is raising is very important. Anything you do in life requires commitment, time. Okay. Now we have given so much time to LinkedIn that we know how this platform works. What is the true value that LinkedIn has to offer? If I had more time, I would spend like 24 hours a day on LinkedIn. I know this how important it is, and it's not something that I give LinkedIn to manage. Okay, I answer my messages personally. I write my posts personally because I think this is the only thing makes me happy, so that I'm connecting with my network in some way every day. So I'm communicating my thoughts. This is like only way of communication channel that I have, uh, for me as personal brand. But let's say if you're applying for a job, you need to understand which company that you are passionate about. So there is, if there is an opening, how to apply. So now there are some secrets to apply for a job. Let's maybe spend 2-3 minutes. There are a lot of people who want to listen on how to apply for a job, and there are some secrets that people don't follow. Maybe Trupti, you wanna share some insights here. I like your insight about Nishta. She was following you, and she actually got to work with you now. So maybe some other examples that you would like to share with the audience.
I think when it comes to jobs, I think the good part is that things are becoming difficult even for employers to hire the right talent. I mean, we may get a lot of resume, but I think what you all should remember if you're applying for a job is being consistent with your follow-ups. I think that matters a lot, because sometimes we see that we post a message on LinkedIn or Naukri or different platform, and we get like hundreds of profiles. And of course, HR may spend a lot of time, would like to go through all of them, would like to interview a lot of them, but sometimes it's just person. So it becomes very important to go one step ahead. And when you specifically, because LinkedIn, you're able to use Sales Navigator, you can write a message even if you're not connected to that person through a send a note. When you send a note, I think that three things should be in your that note. One, that why it is important to be in this job, and why
Mm-hmm.
this job. I think these are the two lines you have to write. You don't have to write a paragraph. And
Yeah.
when as a founder you receive a message from someone saying, I need to be here because of this reason, I think that's sufficient for me to initiate or ensure that I myself take a screenshot of my LinkedIn and share it, that this is a person you need to really get me on a call with. So you have to
So
show that,
s- so important. Think like put yourselves in our shoes, okay, and think of what we will be thinking while hiring, okay. There's few things that we care about. Firstly, passion connected to our business, because we care about our business. And if you show that you care about working with us, and you're passionate about doing this and this, and this is the value that you're going to add, it really will interest us a lot. By just like sending us a resume that you need a job, like
not helpful. Yeah.
it's not helping. You need to stand out from the crowd, do something different, be more personalized in any conversation you have on LinkedIn. When you use like template based reach out methods, it won't work. I'm so sorry. You have to be real, you have to be you. You have to share some things which that person would like to hear, not something that you would like to gain. Okay, so this is two different things, and people make this mistake. What's in it for them? Okay, you need to think in that perspective,
Yeah, I
period.
think a
Okay.
simple answer of why woman waiter. If I get a message, why woman waiter, and why it matters to you, in three lines, I would like to, of course, meet that person and really, really would like to understand out of all the CVs or profiles my company must have received. So it has to be not very long, or it has to be very brief, because in notes, so when you send a note to someone or you're using a sales navigator, that's the only way you get in touch with anyone, someone you're not connected to. So,
Mm-hmm.
and a second thing you can definitely use is, for example, if you're trying to reach to me and you see someone who's mutually connected, ask that person to introduce you. If
Mm-hmm.
I am being like, if Pratik introduced me to or Maitri is introduced to me by Pratik, I would listen to. I would like to give her extra, time to be heard. So I think you can use that tool as well. Like if you're mutually connected, use that to be referred through them.
I bet anybody who's listening haven't used mutual connection. It is so powerful. You can't believe. I'll tell you one more big secret about my business, okay? 70% of the business I have came through mutual connections. Okay, I shamelessly asked my connection to introduce me to that person. Okay,
Yeah.
because I wanted to meet that person for 30 minutes and actually show him or her about the true value about what I'm going to offer them. And this is how I grow my business. And this is the only secret. So let's say we have a friend, okay, but that, let's say your friend cannot help you with the business, but he can help you make the connection. So you have, let's say, 100 people, that 100 people know 10,000 people. That's the power of mutual connections. Don't take it lightly. As I mentioned, 75 or 70 plus percent of my business came through this. Okay. So Maitri has some question. uh,
Yeah, and I think one very important thing about LinkedIn is that, unlike other platform where you can have fake followers, I don't know, I'm not aware if LinkedIn can create fake followers, or you can.
it is okay. So
It's
I
very
get
difficult.
I get message. Okay, literally, people message me on LinkedIn how to gain more followers.
Yeah,
Oh, I say
who knows?
you can get more followers if you invest time and consistent effort by creating content. This is the only way out. Okay. My first post on LinkedIn took 7 hours for me to write, because I was writing something and then I was deleting it because I had a fear what people will think about me. Okay, because it was my first post. and it took me almost like 7 plus hours. No one read it, no like, no followers, nothing, just one like. It was my wife. Okay. And that's how I started. It took me like one day. Now, I was inspired by Nusair from Nas Daily, if you are familiar. He did like 1000 days challenge to create videos. I said, this guy can do like 1000 days of videos. Why can't I post 1000 days on LinkedIn and become like a LinkedIn star? And he's a video star. And I followed his path because I know it worked for him, it will work for me if I'm consistent. Okay.
Right.
Fun part, you have to show up every day, and showing up every day with some improvement from your previous day, automatically people will connect with you. So after like around 160 something days, one of my posts went viral. I gained some confidence, and automatically things were moving in my favor. So it takes some time. So yeah, you are absolutely right
I
here,
just
Trupti.
add, Pratik, one very important thing here. And this really help when you're in business. You know what is happening in the last few years is that I don't have to tell anyone about what I'm doing. Because any other platform, Facebook, WhatsApp, they have some I mean, I don't know what the technology metrics or strategies are. You may be connected with people, but you it's not getting reflected on their pages all of a sudden. Like, so people who had like 5,000 plus friends, you will find all of a sudden that there is only one like on a picture or two likes. So that definitely, we could see that other platforms somehow have different strategies when it comes to show what your people you're connected with. But in case of LinkedIn, the good part is if you're connected and you're posting and you are people in your professional network are on LinkedIn. And
Mm-hmm.
once you post about your achievement, and LinkedIn has like 2 years completed, 5 years completed, new job started, these kind of posts keep us updated. Okay, we met Pratik, he was with Gempact, now he has moved to Amazon. Congratulations. So our contact has is now in Amazon. These
Mm-hmm.
kind of information, like I was recently appointed on the board of one of the venture fund. And as soon as I added that in my profile, LinkedIn automatically shows that as a new position, and everyone started messaging me. So these kind
Mm-hmm.
of things, reminds people in your network that, see, this person is getting additional or getting to the next level, or and it helps us to keep them in mind that,
Yes.
okay, we saw this. And so LinkedIn helps you keep, like, LinkedIn helps you in a way remind people of what happening on your professional front, and it helps in business.
Absolutely true. There's one question from audience that I would like to take quickly. How to make your personal branding powerful on LinkedIn? This we discussed already about building trust. And what are the other things that Trupti comes to your mind when building a personal brand on LinkedIn?
So I think it's like I also you highlighted that continuity is definitely important. Anything you are doing, continuity is very important. You have to take out time to even respond to people. So on LinkedIn, when people are sending messages, you have to ensure that you're responding to them. In case you have created a post and there are people who are commenting on your post, you should reply to all of them if you want to keep improving your personal branding. Let's give
Yeah.
people who are commenting some respect, and they like commenting on you. And comment, if you're getting more and more comments, that's always good for you creating a powerful LinkedIn profile. And I think I would say that it matters a lot which what is your tagline and what is your background profile. So if you can bring something which is a compilation, if you are someone who's influencer or is very active on social media, other social media, put that on your background. That you have these, like, it should be reflective. Your cover page should be reflective of you. Like, I really love your cover page, background page, Pratik. It
Thank you.
shows community strength, and I think that's very strong message that Pratik is a community person. if you all go on Pratik's profile in the backdrop, I think it's a lot of people sitting with like there. It reflects
It's all
on.
of my Testlify team. We when we were launching our product, we actually did like an amazing party, and it was like a selfie with the team. So it was kind of like important to share with the world. And when Trupti says cover is very important, I personally feel it's a prime piece of real estate. Okay, more expensive than having a real estate in New York. How do you leverage that is important. You have a piece of real estate on LinkedIn. How you're leveraging your profile. So you have that banner, you have an amazing picture. I see a lot of people without profile picture. It's not something that you will. Would you go to an event not properly dressed, like I mean like in professional event? You want to show that you're presentable, you want to show that you're professional, you want to show everything that you have achieved in your career. This helps people on the other side connect with you. Okay, so when Trupti is saying that leveraging this cover image, when I was starting out, I didn't have what should I do. Now there are so many resources out there. Think about like Canva, it's a free tool. You have free templates available. Like it takes hardly 5 minutes to design an outstanding cover image for free. So it's just about putting that 5 minutes for your personal brand or your profile, and it's very easy to do. um, so I think there are a lot of opportunities, a lot of free tools available if you want to learn. Even also on LinkedIn, I didn't knew everything, or not as Tripti. We kind of like learned by ourselves. Maybe there we checked a lot of videos uh, and learn from each other. This is like how you create a personal brand. So Maitri, really great question. Keep them coming. If you have more questions about LinkedIn, jobs, anything related to personal brand, we are here to answer your questions. I want to ask you one more important question, Trupti. There are a lot of sales people connected with me on LinkedIn, and I'm sure there are some of them listening right now. People are either whatever we do in life, we are kind of selling something. Okay, either we are selling ourselves, either we are selling a service, either we are selling a product. Okay, and then we use certain channels such as like LinkedIn messages or Facebook, Instagram ads, or some whatever, to actually find that prospect to sell our products. Okay, so how do you sell products on LinkedIn or services on LinkedIn?
So I think I am in a show, like of course KGS is a financial advisory firm, and in specifically in CA, and when you talk about lawyers, we have a different approach. We cannot reach out to people who we don't know. That's code of conduct. So that's where there's a lot of limitation in terms of reaching out to new people on LinkedIn. But yeah, I would share my experience on Woman Innovator, because it's a social enterprise, and we actually look for a lot of partnership. And I really feel that if you are a networker, if you can give good time, Sales Navigator is amazing tool you all should use. Like for example, I was if I ha- currently running an initiative called Gender Responsive Procurement with corporate, where we are
Mm-hmm.
asking corporate to come forward and pledge that they will buy at least 3% of their total procurement from women-owned businesses. I was supposed to reach out to as many corporates as possible. So I would go to Sales Navigator. If I'm, for example, targeting to get in touch with Godrej, for example, I will put on Sales Navigator Godrej. I will go Sales Navigator, give a very good option of employees versus decision makers. I would like to go to the decision maker, because what I'm doing is something a decision maker would have to come and say, I pledge. for my organization.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's very important that first, before reaching out to people, you should be aware which department, what kind of person can help you. If you're already connected with someone junior level, you should then request their help to get connected with someone in the
Mm-hmm.
so identifying the right person you want to reach, right department, before reaching out to people will definitely help. So like I said, decision maker is something Sales Navigator shows, which is not a feature which you get in anywhere. You have to really go on a website, go on the board, and click on the board and management team, and then that's a lot of work, but you save a lot of time in case of Sales Navigator.
Wow, Sales
Yes,
Navigator is a gold mine.
yes, that's
That's
the
what I
goal.
feel. Uh,
Yes.
it gives you visibility of so much things and the advanced search features and list building. So, for example, people know how to use it, but or people are aware about it, but they are not using it to the extent that it can add value to the business. uh, think about, like, you exactly know who you are selling to. You can actually find out how much exact audience you have for your product, and that's the power of Sales Navigator. It gives you like amazing visibility to whom you're selling, and then you can actually plan a campaign to reach out to them. So now there are a lot of tools available to actually bring in Sales Navigator data to your CRM in some way. There are a lot of data management platforms or data buying platforms where you can buy that data from people and then actually nurture them in some way. Again, that is like whole topic in itself,
Yes.
and
It
nurturing.
is.
It's a huge topic, and it requires maybe 3 hour session, and it won't be enough. So again, if you need some like special like session, if I get more requests on my personal messages, I'll think of planning like a proper session to go over the Sales Navigator. uh, Now, I wanna discuss a bit more about, like, HR perspective towards LinkedIn. Now, majorly, LinkedIn was considered to be a job platform when it got started. Okay, now it is becoming more like a networking platform and, like, B2B business platform. Now, how can, like, HR, because we are doing this from Testlify LinkedIn account. There are a lot of HRs who are following us and would be listening. How can HR leverage LinkedIn to find the great talent on LinkedIn?
I think one very good feature I found on LinkedIn is that they get a customized messages which you can create with a small form. So I always
Mm-hmm.
suggest my HR team to whenever they have like posted a job on LinkedIn, because one, you're getting a profile upfront, and that's a validated profile when you click on LinkedIn. Because if somebody is saying that I'm working with Woman Waiter, I will get a notification. So it cannot be false, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one, we hire a lot of people to do an independence check on the profiles and validation of KYC.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you're hiring from LinkedIn, this is one thing which is, I think, which you can be sure of, that if a person has in LinkedIn tagged a company and said that they were working with them during that period, means they were working.
Mm-hmm.
That's one very important thing which HR is comfortable when you like hiring from LinkedIn. Second, there are a customized options where you can go and you can select what kind of you can do the rating upfront when you're
Mm-hmm.
hiring. So the HR can actually, when they have those job profiles, depending on what you have chosen as the highest priority, the points you've given to different parameters, it will give you which one is the rating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
And you can then go first to the 5 rating, then going to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then keep going next. So it saves a lot of time, Prateek, because it's doing so much work for you right now, is segregating good and bad as per your preferences.
That is amazing. That brings me to a point about Testlify, and it's not self promotion, but kind of like, the volume of resumes that HR gets these days is really high, and on an average, according to research, at least 200 plus resumes come for each job opening. Now, going over that 200 resumes takes a lot of time. Now, there is a lot of functionality available within LinkedIn to actually filter down the best candidates. But again, how would you assess those candidates for their skills, for their cultural fit, soft skills, and so on? Now, Testlify can actually help you predict who to hire, okay, like, based on data through talent assessment. Now, if you haven't heard about Testlify, you should definitely check out testlify.com and just try to sign up for free and try to explore the platform. You'll understand how you can actually assess the talent and actually almost predict who to hire. Again, there is HR is more like, guesswork. That's what I say. It's more like, guessing who to hire. Even though you know the resume, you don't know people until they work 3 months whether it was a right fit or not. So it's always like a gamble that we play. Uh, so again, it can help you reduce that to almost 99% because it will help you make decision based on data and not assumptions. Okay, enough of promotion. We'll move forward with LinkedIn. Now, there is a thing on LinkedIn, and I got this request from WhatsApp that I'm seeing. My friend has sent me. He's listening to us. He says, I have hesitation to comment on people's post. So he's specifically asking Trupti, do you comment on other people's posts? Whether do you find it comfortable, or do it quite often, or like sometimes just to your close network? How do you take this?
I think I would. There are two aspects here, and I have faced the same issue. I always see a post, and sometimes I want to, comment, and I will be very, frank here because it's your friend. That there are two reasons you would not comment. One, you're not getting the right words to describe what you want to write, right?
Yeah,
So I think that's where I started using some tools like Grammarly and two, three tools which are really good in terms of like putting your thoughts in place right up
yeah,
front. Second, I think when you talk about commenting, don't overthink. I have overcome this. Comment as much as possible. It's nothing wrong because everyone who's posting is looking for comments for sure. So whether in favor or not in favor, try to comment with one liner why in favor or not in favor. It's just very helpful. It will also help you get, if you are so I see a lot of times when there are comments and you are like if for example Pratik, you and I are connected to each other and I created a post or I commented on a post which is created by someone in my network. Because I'm connected with you, you can see that post.
exactly.
That's a good example because sometimes people would like to like if I commented on a good post and you get to see because you are in my network and
Yeah,
you get the right information or right knowledge, you will say, okay, great, Tripti is like commenting on, which means it's the relevant post and I should read about it.
yeah,
The
absolutely.
professional. Yes.
What I find, it's like nurturing your network. Okay, when I say commenting, think about, like, when I started my LinkedIn journey, I had the same hesitation of commenting. I don't know, it was fear of what other people will think, fear of unknown. I don't know, like, what to say sometimes. I want to comment, but I don't know what to write, okay? And sometimes it happens with every one of us. How do you overcome this? So, one thing you need to understand, people who mind don't matter, people who mind don't matter, and people who matter don't mind. So say what you feel, like, there is nothing to lose. Think about your network as a family member, and you're kind of like, every time they post something, you support them in some way. If you don't know anything what to say, just do a thumbs up. Again, like, there are emojis out there to actually support your friend or network. Now, to make it easier for me, initially I built a templates of comments that I used. So if you're listening and if you want that comment templates, it's like, almost 100, 150 comments that I built. I will share it with you, this link. Message me on LinkedIn, and I think that will actually help you gain more confidence in terms of like starting out while commenting. You wanted to say something, Trupti?
Yes, I would. As soon as you said, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, I just want to say one very important thing. You can reach out to me as well, but be very, sometimes you get a very customized message, very standard message, which you can see that it's very standardized and that the same person is sending the same messages to hundred of people.
Exactly.
And we have discussed about it. Please be very specific about what in one or two line, unless you have a proper agenda, which is something which people would like to read. And the second thing is, like, for example, on my profile, if you go, there is, you want to have a call with me, uh, for what? So you can actually, so there are customized answers. So if you are reaching out to me, I'm assuming that you've gone through it, and you will not ask me what is woman waiter, how do I get in touch with you. You won't ask me what KGS is doing, how can I be part of KGS, because it's all written. So if somebody reaches out to me and asks me what is already on my front CV or my front profile, I know that person is not serious. So please, whenever you're reaching out to people, read the first line, or at least the first few things they have written on their CV, before getting on a call. It will really help. And if they have this kind of a self-explanatory link tree, so use that before getting in touch with them. It will really help you.
I absolutely loved the flow that you've created, Tripti, and I will definitely copy it. Uh, it's so people were using Linktree, but this is going to the next level and actually customizing the welcome experience that people go through the video, and they actually select what they're looking for and then schedule a meeting with you. Amazing, outstanding. This is like, how we learn from each other, right? This is like a network of amazing people that I have, that helps me actually improve. Even though I'm constantly on LinkedIn, there are things that I learn from people every single day. So you have to have a learning spirit as well while you are on the platform. Again, try to
That's
spend. Yeah, go
That's
ahead.
true. It's that I started using this explanatory video and the process just because I was going through a very viral post, and when I went on the profile of that person, the first thing was get on a call with me. But it was like, okay, first you know me, and this is the video message. Hi, and this is what I do. This is what Woman Waiter is. It's already recorded. You don't have to read. You can just listen as if you're talking to me, and then just ask me. Then what? How can I help you? Then you just it saves a lot of time for people who are already getting a lot of requests. So it's a win-win situation for both.
Excellent, really amazing. So if you have any questions, please put down in the chat. We have few more minutes or 2 minutes. I'll take final question if you have anything. But meanwhile, I want to ask you some important thing about Women Innovator. To end with, you have a special campaign that going out soon. Do you want to share and give a call to
Definitely.
action to all women innovators listening us live today?
Thank you so much, Pratik. I was really looking forward for this. Woman Waiter, we are working towards community development. So whether you are a man or woman, any gender, you can be part of Women Innovator. First of all, I think people assume that Women Innovator is all about women. We have leaders who are men. We have leaders who are coming as mentors. So you can be a mentor. You can be a leaders. No, I mean, no specific gender specific thing. And secondly, you should go on our website womanovators.com and go on the blogs and check out a recent initiative, which is Womanovator Creators Award, where we will be awarding 100 influencers of different social media, and those will be women from across India at this moment. And
Mm-hmm.
secondly, we are going on a global yatra roadshow in different cities of India to start with. We're starting with Uttarakhand and Tamil Nadu. So we
Mm-hmm.
would love to meet you all. You can just go on website. You will see the dates and the coming soon of different states, and you can register and be part of those stakeholder meets. Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Amazing, Tripti. I wish you all the best, and I'll do everything to support you in this amazing initiative. Thank you so much for joining today. It was a fun conversation, although I don't want to end. I have to. We are almost ran out of the time. So, everyone who joined us today, thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions for me, me or Tripti, feel free to message. Remember to customize. Say that you were in this conversation, you listen to this conversation, you like specific thing that Tripti discussed, and this is what is your something that you need help with. It creates an amazing engagement, and you can expect an answer from us then. I wish you amazing rest of the day, and see you next week. Cheers. Bye bye.
Yeah, yeah, everyone. Thank you. Bye bye.
uh,